Good morning, everyone. Virgo, stop everything. Just stop. Because what I'm about to tell you is time sensitive. It's urgent. Not in a fear based way, but in a there's a window opening and you need to know how to walk through it way. Mm. Happiness and love are near, like really near, close enough that you could reach out and touch them if you knew how. But here's the thing, there are specific steps you need to take. There's a way you need to show up. And if you don't learn these steps, if you don't shift how you're approaching this, you might miss it. And I don't want that for you, Virgo. I don't want you to look back months from now and realize the love you've been asking for was right there. The happiness you've been seeking was within reach, but you couldn't receive it because you were still operating from old patterns. So listen carefully, really carefully, because I'm going to walk you through exactly what you need to do, exactly what needs to shift before it's too late. So let's explore this. What happiness and love are approaching, why now, what the steps are, and why your Virgo nature, as beautiful as it is, might be the very thing blocking you from receiving what's trying to reach you. Take what resonates here, Virgo. This is about preparation and transformation. You remain in control of your choices, always. This is simply an invitation to show up differently so you can receive what you've been asking for. Let me start with the good news, because the good news is real and it's significant. Happiness and love are approaching, not the conditional kind, not the I'll be happy when kind, not the love that requires you to be perfect kind, but real happiness, deep love, the kind that nourishes your soul instead of draining it, the kind that sees all of you, including the parts you try to hide, and chooses you anyway. For some of you, this is romantic love. Someone is near or about to be near who could actually be right for you. Not perfect, because perfect doesn't exist, but right, aligned, compatible. Someone who appreciates your attention to detail instead of feeling criticized by it. Someone who values your reliability instead of taking it for granted. Someone who can handle your standards without making you feel like you're too much. For others, this is happiness that comes from finally accepting yourself, from releasing the impossible standards you've been holding yourself to, from making peace with being imperfect, from discovering that life can be beautiful even when it's messy, that you can be worthy even when you're not performing flawlessly. And for many of you, it's both. Love showing up externally because you finally learned to love yourself internally. Happiness arriving because you've stopped making it conditional on everything being exactly right. But here's where the steps come in. Because Virgo, your natural way of being, it's blocking what's trying to reach you. Not because there's something wrong with you, but because the very traits that make you excellent at so many things, they're creating walls around your heart. They're making it hard for love to get in. They're making it impossible for happiness to land. So you need to learn new steps, new ways of moving through the world, new ways of relating to yourself and others. And you need to learn them now, before the opportunity passes, before the window closes, before love knocks and you're still too defended to answer the door. Let me be very specific about what these steps are. Because this isn't abstract, this is practical. Step 1, stop criticizing yourself into unworthiness. Virgo, you have a voice in your head that's constantly finding fault with yourself primarily, but also with everything around you. And that voice, it's killing your capacity for happiness. It's making you believe you're not good enough, not ready enough, not perfect enough to deserve love. And as long as you believe that, you'll push away anyone who tries to get close. So the first step is noticing that critical voice and choosing not to believe it. Not silencing it completely, because that's probably impossible, but recognizing, oh, that's my inner critic and it doesn't speak truth. And then choosing to speak to yourself with kindness instead. The same kindness you'd offer a friend going through what you're going through. Step 2, let go of the checklist. You have a mental checklist of everything that needs to be perfect before you can be happy or accept love. Your body needs to be different. Your career needs to be further along. Your life needs to be more organized. Your past needs to be resolved. Your future needs to be certain. And until all of that is checked off, you don't let yourself have good things. But, Virgo, the checklist will never be complete. There will always be something else to fix, something else to improve, something else to perfect. So you have to choose to let yourself be happy now, to let yourself receive love now, imperfectly, messily, with things still undone and unresolved. Let go of the checklist. It's not serving you, it's keeping you locked out of your own life. Step 3, stop analyzing potential partners to death. When someone shows interest in you, when someone treats you well, when someone actually shows up consistently, your first instinct is to analyze them, to look for flaws, to find reasons why it won't work, to create problems where none exist because you're so used to preparing for disappointment that you can't trust when something might actually be good. And you analyze yourself right out of relationships before they even begin. So step 3 is letting yourself not know. Letting yourself be uncertain. Letting yourself explore a connection without needing to have the whole thing mapped out. Can you date someone without knowing if they're the one? Can you enjoy getting to know someone without immediately projecting 5 years into the future? Can you be present in the early stages instead of trying to solve the relationship like it's a problem? Step 4, accept care without keeping score. When someone does something nice for you, your Virgo brain immediately goes into, now I owe them, now I need to reciprocate, now the balance is off. You can't just receive. You can't just let someone give to you without immediately thinking about how to even it out. And that makes people feel like their care isn't wanted. Like you don't actually want them to give to you because you turn everything into a transaction. So step 4 is learning to say thank you and stop there. Let someone buy you coffee without immediately offering to get the next one. Let someone help you without immediately helping them back. Let yourself be cared for without it meaning you're weak or incapable or in debt. Just receive. Just let it be a gift. Let me slow down here because I need to say something important. These steps are hard for you, Virgo. I know they are. Your entire operating system is built on the opposite of these steps. You're built to analyze, to perfect, to prepare, to maintain balance, to critique. And I'm asking you to soften all of that, to be more spontaneous, more accepting, more vulnerable, more trusting. And that might feel impossible. It might feel like I'm asking you to not be yourself, but that's not it. I'm asking you to expand yourself, to add new capacities to the ones you already have, to be analytical and spontaneous, to be discerning and open, to be responsible and vulnerable. You can do this, Virgo, but it requires practice and it requires choosing differently than you've been choosing every single day. Let me give you more steps because there are more and they all matter. Step 5, stop waiting to be perfect before you show up. You don't go to social events unless you look perfect. You don't reach out to people unless you have the perfect thing to say. You don't put yourself out there unless conditions are ideal. And you're missing opportunities because you're waiting for a level of perfection that will never arrive. So, step 5 is showing up anyway. Messy, imperfect, uncertain. Go to the thing even though you don't feel ready. Reach out even though you don't know if it's the right time. Let people see you when you're not at your best, because that's when real connection happens, when you're real instead of perfect. Step 6, trust that people can handle your truth. You hide so much, Virgo. You hide your needs because you don't want to be needy. You hide your feelings because you don't want to be emotional. You hide your struggles because you don't want to be a burden. And you end up in relationships where people don't actually know you, where they love a version of you that's not fully real. And that feels lonely even when you're not alone. So, step 6 is revealing yourself slowly, carefully, but actually letting people see who you are underneath the competence and the helpfulness and the put together exterior. Tell someone when you're struggling. Ask for help when you need it. Share what you actually feel instead of just what you think. And trust that the right people won't run, they'll stay. They'll appreciate your humanity. Step 7, stop trying to earn love through service. Your default is to prove your worth by being useful, by helping, by fixing, by making yourself indispensable. And then you're confused when people take advantage of you or when relationships feel one-sided. But that's because you set up a dynamic where your value is tied to what you do, not who you are. And people respond to what you teach them about how to treat you. So, step 7 is being willing to be loved for existing, not for being perfect, not for being useful, not for solving everyone's problems, just for being you. And that requires you to believe you have inherent worth, that you're valuable beyond your productivity, that you deserve love even when you're not performing. Drop a comment, Virgo, if any of these steps are hitting hard, if you recognize these patterns in yourself. Because I think most Virgos struggle with all of this, and acknowledging it is the beginning of changing it. So you can actually receive the love and happiness that's approaching. You know what else I'm sensing? There's a specific person or opportunity that's close, and you have a very short window to get these steps right before the moment passes. Not because the universe is punishing you or testing you, but because people and opportunities, they don't wait forever. They knock on your door, and if you don't answer because you're too busy preparing to answer perfectly, they move on. They find someone who's ready now, imperfectly, but ready. So, this is why I'm saying it's urgent. This is why I'm saying listen carefully and learn these steps before it's too late, because the window is open now. Love is near now. Happiness is available now. But it won't wait for you to get perfect. It needs you to show up as you are. Let's sit with this for a moment. What if the love you've been asking for is already here, but you can't see it because you're looking for the wrong thing? What if you're looking for perfect compatibility and missing beautiful, imperfect compatibility? What if you're looking for someone who meets every item on your list and missing someone who meets the items that actually matter? What if happiness is in the messy, beautiful present and you keep missing it because you're waiting for some idealized future? Open your eyes, Virgo. Look around. Who's showing up for you consistently? Who's making effort? Who sees you is less than #0, 5 hashes greater than. Stop dismissing them because they don't meet some arbitrary standard. Stop waiting for some fantasy person who doesn't exist. Look at the real people offering real love. Let me offer you one more thing, a practice, something you can do right now, today, this week, to start embodying these steps. Every day, catch yourself in one Virgo pattern, just one. Maybe it's criticizing yourself, maybe it's overanalyzing someone's text message, um, maybe it's declining an invitation because you're not ready, maybe it's refusing help because you want to do everything yourself. Just catch one pattern per day and then choose differently. Speak kindly to yourself instead of critically. Respond to the text without analyzing. Accept the invitation imperfectly. Let someone help you. One different choice per day. That's it. That's the practice. And watch what happens over time. Watch how those small different choices start opening you up. Start making you more available for love. Start letting happiness in through the cracks in your armor. Let me ask you one final question, Virgo. What would it cost you to just try these steps? To experiment with being a little less controlled, a little more open, a little more vulnerable? What's the actual risk that you might be disappointed, that you might get hurt? Virgo, you're already disappointed. You're already hurting from loneliness and from the gap between the love you want and the love you're allowing in. So, what do you have to lose by trying something different? By learning these steps? By showing up in a new way? The worst that happens is it doesn't work and you learn something. But the best that happens is everything, is love, is happiness, is connection, is being seen and chosen and valued for who you actually are instead of the perfect image you've been trying to maintain. Take what resonates from this reading, Virgo. Leave what doesn't. And remember that you remain in control of whether you take these steps, of whether you choose differently, of whether you let love in. Happiness and love are near, really near, but there are steps you need to learn. ways you need to shift, patterns you need to release, and you need to learn them now before the window closes, before the opportunity passes, before you look back and regret not being ready when ready enough would have been enough. Trust your inner knowing, Virgo. Trust that you can soften without losing yourself. Trust that you can be vulnerable without being weak. Trust that you can let people in without losing control. Trust that love is safe, that happiness is available, that you deserve both imperfectly right now. Thank you for being here, Virgo. Thank you for being willing to look at these hard truths. Thank you for being ready to try something different. You are exactly where you need to be, on the edge of love, on the threshold of happiness. The steps are clear, the path is open. Now you just have to walk it. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, Virgo. Learn these steps, practice them, and get ready because love and happiness are coming, and you're going to be ready for them.